Hello and welcome to all you digital adventurers out there. After several years in the making, we've recently released our incredible face customizer for all our amazing creators and fans. With dozens of morphology and expression sliders, we know there's a lot of new stuff to figure out, and we're here to help. In this video, we'll be reviewing some basic tips and tricks for how to navigate our face customizer. From big and small edits to best practices when using the face pads, we've got you covered. And if you have any lingering questions that aren't answered by this video, join our Discord where both community members and Hero Forge staff moderators can help you figure out how best to achieve your perfect adventurer. The new face customizer is split into two main groups. Faces, which can be found under the head category of the menu on the left-hand side of the screen, and expressions, which are in the face sub-menu of the pose category. First, let's look at the face menu. Clicking on it will bring up your face options on the right-hand side of the screen. If you see a head with a gear option behind it, that means it can be further customized using our face customizer options. Before delving into this menu, here, don't forget to look at the Edits tab to fine-tune things like the softness of the features, your mini's age, and the overall length of the head. From there, we've got this menu here. That lets you really focus on the particular parts of the face. Each of these categories that are highlighted in red are split into three sections: features, big edits, and small edits. Generally, we recommend starting with the features you want to use, then progressing into the first big edits, and then finishing up with the smaller ones. Now, let's talk about the difference between those. Features are the foundation for your character, which you will be building on using the big and small edits. Here's where you'll be making those major morphological changes, like from a cat nose to a goblin nose. Once you've chosen that, don't forget to scroll down and check out the amount slider. Not only does this let you determine things like just how alien you want your alien cranium to be, but if you check out this gear icon here, you can see that you're also able to adjust the overall shape as well as the finer details of that feature. From here, let's look at those big edits. Big edits are changes that affect the entire highlighted region. For example, moving the width slider widens the whole nose, versus breaking it down into parts like the bridge or the nostrils separately. This is a great place to start when making changes to your mini, before heading into the more granular, small edits. The small edits, which often work best as your final step in perfecting your character, allow you to make those tiny little adjustments on a smaller level. Want one nostril wider than the other? Or maybe your character is a bit of a brawler, and you're looking for a crooked nose that looks like it's been broken a few times. Here's where you can do those asymmetrical and minute adjustments that can really help tell your character's story. And don't forget, if you've made big or small edits that just don't feel right, you don't need to reset all the sliders manually. Just click on the trash can next to the relevant part of the face to return it to a clean slate. With both big and small edits, you might notice that hovering your mouse over the mini causes various parts of the face to highlight blue. This is the face pad feature, which lets you click directly on the face to drag those features into position. As you can see here, there are fewer face pad sections when you're in the big edits tab, and more when you're working in small edits. This helps highlight the difference between them, and how the latter lets you fine-tune your mini's face. A good rule of thumb that our art team recommends is to use the pads to make big and general edits before going in and using the sliders to get your mini exactly right. The face pads are great for big, broad strokes changes, and the sliders work best for those finishing touches. Ultimately, do whatever works best for you. Play around with it, and you'll be sure to find a system that lets you make your perfect paladins, your rockstar rogues, and your fantastic felines. And remember, if all of these edit options feel a little too overwhelming as you get used to the new face customizer, don't worry. We have a ton of awesome presets that are ready to go as is. Expressions. Once you've gotten your character's face just the way you want it, it's time to work on their expression. You can find the expressions options under the face section of the pose menu. Here you'll find a ton of options, all of which are pretty extreme. Looking for smug? We've got the smuggest face you've ever seen. To help you choose a baseline expression, we've included a menu here. which not only allows you to determine both the intensity of the look, but also allows you to blend expressions together. Surprised, smug, and a little mad? We've got you covered. If mixing and matching the expressions isn't quite enough, you've still got a bunch of customization options in this menu here. You can tweak individual parts of the expression, like this, but if you just want to set a blank slate on certain parts of the face, don't forget the handy trash can. This will reset that part of the expression without losing the rest. You keen-eyed adventurers out there may have noticed there are some similarities between our expression sliders and our big and small edits on the face tab. Just like in real life, morphology and facial expressions overlap quite a bit. So, if you set your expression and then go back to tweak parts of the face, keep an eye on how the changes in one menu will affect the other. For your final stop on your journey to the perfectly customized hero, head to the advanced section of the pose menu, where you can find options to pose your character's tongue and teeth. If you want to adjust the top teeth separately from the bottom, just remember to click this cogwheel right here, which will allow more finely tuned tweaks to your chompers. Decals and color zones. We've added a few animal faces to the face customizer system. For those few animal faces which we've added to the face customizer, you might notice that some of the species-specific color zones have disappeared. To make sure these fabulous felines and beautiful bovines integrated into the face customizer system, we had to standardize the color zones across all options, which means every one of these heads now has the same color zone options. But don't worry, all previous color zone options for stuff like the bovine, zombie, and canine heads can now be found as decal options in the color menu here. And to help make sure that you can still add plenty of character to your mini, we've included a few more decal slots for faces. We hope these tips and tricks have been helpful to you. The new face customizer is big and has new stuff added to it regularly. These basic guidelines and suggestions hopefully helped you as you set out on your adventure with this amazing new system. And, as mentioned at the start of this tutorial, if you have any questions, join our Discord linked in the video description to learn more cool tips from the Hero Forge staff and our wonderful community of forgers. In the meantime, we wish you safe travels on your adventures.